Let's go through the Easter week in Sweden.
Oi! My name is not Sven, it is Martin, ja.
Yes, we're gonna go through the different days during Easter and how it affects Swedes and where it comes from. So, the week is called STILLA veckan, Silent Week, the week leading up to Easter in Sweden. And one of the things they did on the Wednesday, which is called DYMMELONSDAG, is that they replaced the iron staffs in the church bells for wooden rods, also called dymlar, to make the church bong slightly more silent to mark that it was, in fact, the silent week. Swedes don't have the day off, so it doesn't affect work life in any way, but when we get to the next day, something happens. The first day is called skärtorsdagen, and the reason it's called skärtorsdagen is that skär is an Old Norse word for clean. And in the biblical story, Jesus would clean the disciples' feet, making them skär, making them clean. So that's why we call it that. For most people working in Sweden, skärtorsdagen is a half day. So you work from morning until noon, and the reason for that is that most of the time, before a red day, which falls on a weekday, you work half the day before that, called HALVDAG. The Friday, the Good Friday, which in Sweden is called LANGFREDAG, is in memory of the crucifixion of Jesus in Golgotha outside of Jerusalem. For most people who are older than me, they remember what it was like in the old days, because on this day you were not allowed to have fun. It was supposed to be a boring day. Nothing was basically on TV, the cinema was closed, you weren't allowed to do anything, so the day really was long. But 50 years ago, on April 1st, 1969, the prohibition against leisure or having fun was released, and people were suddenly allowed to go to the cinema and go out dancing. So it really went from a boring day to, well, a day when you can actually enjoy yourself. And in Sweden, it is a red day, so you have the day off. Then we get to the Saturday, AFTON, which is the day before PÅSKdagen. And AFTON, in the historic sense, well, nothing really happens during this day because Jesus is in the grave and his disciples have locked themselves in fear of execution. However, this is normally and most commonly the day in Sweden when you celebrate with your family, when you have your Easter dinner, which, to be honest, is basically the exact same thing as Christmas. You drink the påskmust, you eat the PÅSK, and basically it's the exact same food, which is kind of weird. But there's a more emphasis on the eggs. You paint eggs in the morning with pens, and you make little marks, and then you eat the eggs. So påskafton has become more of a family tradition during this holiday. Easter Sunday is also a red day in Sweden, and obviously it falls on a Sunday, but I think it's more celebrated around the world because this was the day of the resurrection of Jesus, whereas in Sweden it's just one other day that you have off, basically. And lastly, you have Easter Monday, which in Swedish is ANNANDAG PÅSK, other day Easter. We have the same thing when it comes to December 26th, ANNANDAG jul, which is also a red day, so you have the day off. And also, kids have the week off from school, either the week after Easter or the week before. This has been set into a system so that everybody is not on school leave at the same time in Sweden, because that would probably cause some chaos when it comes to people traveling, because there are many days off. So that was a look at how Swedes celebrate Easter and also which days they have off and what the names of the days are. So, I don't know, let me know in the comments below what these days, starting with Wednesday if you have a name for it, until Sunday and Monday if you have a name for it, and let me know what these are called in your languages, and let's learn from each other, because isn't that one of the points of life? I was gonna say good talk, but yeah, we had a good talk there. Happy Easter. If you're not celebrating Easter, happy weekend. If you're not having a happy weekend, then go to my Good Talk channel and let's talk about this. Cheers!